Pericles came from the tribe of Achaemenides in the Greek town of Cholargos. Being the son of a noble family, he devoted much of his time to his studies. In his early adult years, Pericles chose to keep out of politics because his ties to the nobility made him a target for ostracism. When he began his career, Pericles sided with the popular party since the Athenian general Cimon held influence with the nobles. When Cimon died in 450 BC, the nobles recognized Pericles as the most powerful man in Athens and set up Thucydides as his new political opponent. In time, Thucydides was ostracized and Pericles consolidated all the political power. Plutarch notes that over a period of about 40 years, Pericles led the Athenians as the first man of the state through military campaigns and the building of temples. Among his longest-lasting achievements were the designing and constructing of the new Parthenon and the Propylaea. In his campaigns, he established citizens in friendly cities to bolster their defenses and turn them into allies for Athens. These actions were in conjunction with the formulation of the Delian League, a confederation of Greek city-states whose purpose was to dominate the Aegean Sea. In later years, Pericles oversaw a victory against the city of Samos and prepared the Athenians for war against the Spartans. In 431 BC, the Spartans invaded Attica and ignited the Peloponnesian War. Pericles led the navy against the Spartan allies in Peloponnesus, but couldn't generate a quick victory on account of a plague that struck Athens in 430. Among the fatalities were his sons Xanthippus and Pericles, which dealt a tremendous blow to the constitution of Pericles. Within a year, Pericles himself would succumb to the plague, which ravaged his body gradually. Plutarch writes that despite their judgments when Pericles was alive, the Athenians realized that his efforts in dealing with men and politics were to the overall benefit of the state. After his death, Athenian dominance in the Aegean diminished due to corruption by his successors. This downward spiral culminated with the Athenian surrender to Sparta in 404 BC, ending the vision of an Athenian empire. And now we shall turn our attention to his Roman counterpart. Quintus Fabius Maximus came from the prominent Fabii family and was nicknamed Verrucosus to distinguish himself from his forefathers. Plutarch writes that in his youth, Fabius had a slow and gentle disposition which many mistook for dullness of character. When he entered public office, he demonstrated steady and trustworthy judgment in all matters pertaining to the state. In 217 BC, the Second Punic War began, with Hannibal of Carthage moving his army against Rome through northern Italy. The Romans called on Fabius and appointed him dictator, giving him full command of the legions. As dictator, Fabius employed a cautious strategy of fighting against Hannibal, choosing to wear him down instead of engaging directly. Many Romans viewed this strategy as a weakness on the character of Fabius. At one point during the campaign, the master of horse, Marcus Manutius, believed himself to be a better leader and rallied the legions around him. When Manutius was given temporary command, he led the Romans to a small victory against Hannibal. But fortune quickly turned against him, and Manutius had to be saved by Fabius from a Carthaginian ambush. Afterwards, Fabius assumed sole command until the end of the year. Months later, Fabius was brought back to lead the Romans against Hannibal after the disastrous battle at Cannae. Plutarch writes that while the people previously regarded Fabius as cowardly and remiss, they now viewed him as the embodiment of the spirit and strength of the state. Together with Marcus Claudius Marcellus, the two commanders fought Hannibal all over Italy in the decade after Cannae. Among his achievements was the retaking of the city of Tarentum, which earned Fabius a triumph. Altogether, he earned 5 consulships, 2 dictatorships, 2 triumphs, and a censorship. He had the privilege of seeing his son made a consul, but also had the misfortune of giving his eulogy when he died. Fabius would later pass away in 203 BC due to illness. 1 year later, Hannibal was defeated by Scipio Africanus at the Battle of Zama, ending the Second Punic War and ushering in a new period of prosperity for Rome.